Hello, it's Ali. Honestly, I'm horrible at crossword puzzles, but I'd probably be good 100 years ago. Now, I know what you're thinking. Crossword puzzles are boring and the thing you say your grandparents meticulously working on when you were a kid, because I know this is true for me. But how did we get here? How did we get to what's a synonym for dangerous or the name of the Tonight Show host? I mean, I'm sure everyone here has done a crossword in their life, even if it was in elementary school. If you haven't, you probably have seen them in the New York Times since they've been there for over 50 years. I know personally, I had to listen to my grandparents ask so many random questions or say random words to get through one. I have done a few and can tell you they are pretty hard at times and have taken me a good while to get through. However, I started to wonder, who decided to make these and where did they come from? How did we get here to me sitting and thinking of a synonym for libido for 30 minutes to get a single word down on paper? And why do my grandparents find this so entertaining? Well, that's what I'm here for. So I got the facts and I'll tell you what I learned from a little research. So let's get into it. Who made these things? So back in ancient Rome, one of the first word games appeared, which were known as satyr squares. These were 5x5 squares consisting of 25 letters in total. The point of this was to make the words horizontally and diagonally. Some of the best preserved ones came from Pompeii, and this is likely the earliest word game of human history. Now, fast forward about 2,000 years to 1913, a bit of a jump, I will admit, but I guess word games just weren't too popular back then. So this takes us to the man Arthur Wynne in England. He had the brilliant idea of creating something similar, just a little more complex than these original squares. So this first crossword is relatively simple, not too many and far from the ones we see today. These also included a basic set of rules for the player to figure out what Wynne was referring to. So what's next? How did we get to what we see today? Well, for starters, they started to get very popular. The first crossword was an immense hit in England. People simply loved it there. After the first one was published, people became enthralled by this supposedly new kind of game. It was truly an instant hit. Perfect, with a nice cup of tea. Within the next few weeks, the crosswords would travel across the Atlantic to New York City. While the New York Times crossword is the most popular today, the first crossword puzzle was published in the New York World. The New York World would then publish the original one created by Wynne. It became a massive success and people were instantly obsessed. The New York Times wouldn't publish their first until the 1940s, almost 25 years after their arrival in the States. Today, these are the most popular and widely seen crossword puzzles. This first one was composed of nearly 150 different words. It was an instant success. So fast forward to today, you see your grandma still playing them. You wonder to yourself, why? Well, I'll tell you why. Quite simply, they're fun and nostalgic. I mean, maybe not too fun for you or even to me, but some people, they are. They require thought, time, and a good amount of effort to complete. And once you finish, it's very rewarding and satisfying. When people work to accomplish something, anything for that matter, you feel a sense of pride and reward. People also, in the case of crosswords, feel as though they've learned something or relearned something in the process. Finally, people do get a reward from crosswords. They have been proven to strengthen memory and overall mental health. Since the person is actively working their brains just like a muscle, it becomes stronger. Just like curling for your biceps. This can carry over into academics, work, and social skills. So while it may feel rewarding to accomplish one, it drives them to keep going on and completing more. Now to conclude, we have seen a little bit about the history of crosswords. We have seen how they changed, and we can see why people still play them. While it may seem like a small space on a newspaper, it's really something much more. So next time you see Graham struggling to figure out the name of the person who invented crosswords, just let him know that you might be able to help. Thank you for your time. Have a good night.